Today I'm about to unbox keyboard. Stand by. This video is about to start. This is the Savage Scientist Ed right here. And I do Uber and police car. This keyboard was $66 on Amazon. In the box, keyboard is wrapped in this newsprint type paper. So this is the keyboard. Comes with instruction manual, warranty papers, USB extension cable. That might come in handy. And the USB mini USB cable, papers, and here it is, the keyboard. Nice fluid feeling keyboard right here. Buttons are responsive. Feel like it's a pretty decent sized trackpad. I do not know if it's gesture based yet, but I have to plug this up to see if it's gesture based. It's kind of flimsy, plastic feel. I feel like it's a pretty good keyboard to type on. Media keys on the top, power button on the side, USB charger, USB input here. It comes with its own battery, so no having to charge batteries with this thing. Built-in battery, and I'm gonna let you know how long this battery lasts. This button has a picture of a mouse on it. I don't know what it does, but this is how you turn it on. Flip this to the left and to the right, turns it on. It's about half-inch thick, and the dimensions on this thing is measurements are 14 inches, 14 and a half inches width, and let's get the about 5. I would give it 5.5 inches across. Thickness, half-inch thick. There you have it. $60 on eBay. I mean, $60 on Amazon. I'm gonna test this keyboard out. See how good it is for y'all.
All rise. We are now in the Savage Scientist Court of Common Sense. Y'all may be seated as the Honorable Judge Ed steps into the judge bench and proceed over this case against the Logitech keyboard.
Y'all can be seated now. So, this formula, which is the Savage Review, is how I look at products. It's a very beautiful formula that I created in a laboratory, of course, where I look at the primary function, the ease of use, the extra features, and the design. And I take all those numbers and average them and come up with this score. And if that average is above 4.9 stars, or if that average is above 4.9, then I'm giving it a double salute, 6 stars. And it's something that you might want to consider buying. It's highly recommended that you should go out and buy this thing. If you're watching this video, buy it. If the Savage rating is between 4.9 and 4.5 stars, it is still highly recommended. And I would say, yeah, it deserves 5 stars. And if that rating is between 4.5 stars and 4.0 stars, then that means it's undecided and buy at your own risk. But it's still, I would still say, it's worth looking into. But the last category is if the Savage rating is below 4.0 stars, people. Then that means do not go and buy this crap. It's junk and you will be disappointed. So buy at your own risk. And it also will get the elbow smash to the ground. And consider this a warning. So we have on the docket today the Logitech K830 keyboard. Let's get into these findings. Alright, so for the primary function, on this keyboard, I give it 3.75 stars. It has generic support for TVs and Linux. And what I mean by generic support, that means it doesn't have any native app or anything Logitech did to make it so this keyboard could work in the Linux environment. For TVs, you know, it's kind of hit or miss. I mean, I would not expect Logitech to be able to design an app for every TV out there because they have so many manufacturers, but no Linux support, then that could be problematic for us programmers. So keep that in mind. But most of the time, it still works with Linux. Linux is so much of a savage operating system that it's gonna work even though Logitech did not specifically design a driver. Now, Mac and Windows, especially Windows, it seems like you can't get anything to work that was designed outside the Windows environment. But that's why they had to make special Windows drivers. So you have, I mean, it's not Windows drivers, but that's why you have to have Windows native apps to make this thing work perfectly. And built-in touchpad and keyboard, all that stuff is all on the same plank. When you look at this keyboard, you will notice that the keyboard and the trackpad is seamlessly. It's not like it's somebody took a damn keyboard and connected it to a mouse. I mean, it is all in one. And it works. So 3.75 stars, only because of it doesn't support Linux. Let's move on to the extra features. 3.5 on those extra features. Has a built-in battery, and the battery takes about, I would say about 2 hours, 3 hours to charge. That's not too bad. And you could probably get about 2 weeks of life out of that charge. That's pretty good. Custom keys and track zones. On the trackpad side of this keyboard, you could set up, and this is only within the software. So that goes back to that first problem with not supporting Linux. You could set up different touch zones on this keyboard, on the trackpad, to damn near to start certain functions that you might want. So that's pretty good. I really love that backlighting on this thing. They even put a damn light sensor in it so it could dim with the surrounding environment. That's real good, especially for the fact that you might be using this with your TV and to activate the lighting on here. The only thing you have to do is just touch it, and it's gonna light up and it's gonna correspond to the room. That is really, really good. And so I really like that proprietary unifying software, which is another reason why I'm dogging this thing out for Linux support, because the unifying software doesn't work on Linux. So most likely you'll have to connect this through Bluetooth. And the software is easy to use. And this is one of the only keyboards I saw that supports the unifying software or its own proprietary software and Bluetooth. And ladies and gentlemen, that is probably one of the most important features of this keyboard that makes it so versatile, is that you could use it if you don't have a USB port, but long as you have Bluetooth connectivity, then this keyboard should connect to your device. Alright, so the last thing, which is probably one of the most important features that this keyboard is lacking for the price point, is force click trackpad. And the K820, the Logitech model that came out the year before this, or the model year before this trackpad, had force click. I don't know what this is actually called. Everybody calls it something different, but this is kind of like 3D touch. You could press, if your hand is on the trackpad, simply pressing down into the trackpad would register that as a click. That is a feature that once you use it, you will never go back to a normal trackpad ever. And you're going to want to use a trackpad more than a mouse. It is that much of importance. And if you want to, I could do a video demonstrating why force touch or 3D touch on trackpads is so important. But I'm going to leave that for another video. This trackpad is lacking the 3D touch, so I have to take off a lot of points for this one. So 3.5 stars on extra features, because that's an extra feature it should have had based on the fact that the damn keyboard model before this one had it. The keyboard I destroyed. So let's go down to ease of use. So it's hard to clean the keys. It's hard to remove the keys on this keyboard. Try it and you'll see. It's not clicking. It's not a gaming keyboard, but I mean, it should have a little bit of elements of gaming in it. But because if you get a Dorito stuck in this keyboard, then you screwed. No clicking responsive keys. I'm taking points off of that. But some of the good things is it's easy to pair it with Bluetooth and the unifying software. It is, but if you're using Linux, like I said earlier, you're gonna run into some problems with that unifying software. So the last thing is, there is no way to switch between the function keys and the media keys on this keyboard. On that top row, I would like a little switch. A nice simple switch, because nobody wants to hit the function key on the keyboard and the F7 key to change the lighting on it, or to hit the home screen. And it might not support the operating system by physically routing the data. So by physically having a switch would make it so you would alleviate having to rely on software to register that as the home button or the F7 key. I really do not like how they don't use physical keys on shit anymore these days. That really just make me want to walk away from this judge stand and just go and be a designer. But that could be a whole nother video. And last, and it deserves 4.0 stars for that. Alright, so let's go into design. It's a solid designed keyboard. 4.75 stars. Like I said, it's solid, tough. You can slam it on the ground a few times. The battery not going to pop out. And it's not going to warp and bend. You probably could get at least 5 years out of this keyboard before it become totally unusable. And there are indicator lights over the trackpad to let you know what function mode it's in. And the thing that I really would have to say is just a little more of a design or aesthetic thing is the keyboard, the trackpad is small and it doesn't logically look, it's not big enough and it don't look as good as if it was bigger. It would, it just seemed like they made it small so they could stick a big Logitech logo right up under the damn trackpad. That really just threw off the beauty of this keyboard. If they would have left that off, just made that size a little bigger, and they could have put something in there to make it so it could use 3D touch or make it so you could press down into the damn keyboard, into the trackpad. That would have been great, Logitech, but y'all want to just make the damn trackpad smaller and then throw your logo under there. I don't like that. So overall, the final verdict in this case is 4.0 stars. Damn it, nobody's gonna see the elbow drop today, but no salute either. This is something that you have to take at your own risk, buy at your own risk, and if you're a programmer like me, this might be one that you might want to pass up. Till I make my next video, this is the Savage Scientist. Court is now adjourned.